Hey everybody, what's up? This is Caleb and I play guitar and sing in Chainstay. And today I'm going to do a little rig rundown for you guys. Just thought it'd be fun, show you what gear I use. For the most part, both in the studio and playing live. So first off, the guitar I usually play is a Reverend Double Agent OG. I've never had a Reverend guitar before. Prior to last year is when I got this. I was kind of looking for a guitar. Like, I've always been a Tele guy. I've had a Telecaster for the past 10 years. And I still love the Tele. It's just I was looking for something that had humbuckers, that was Fender shaped and still just had kind of that vibe, but still had a humbucker. So after kind of doing some research, I found a whole lot of other bands that I really like, and a lot of them use this Reverend guitar. So I was thought I'd give it a shot, and I was not disappointed. This is a fantastic guitar. It's got their own custom pickup in the bridge and a P90, I believe, in the neck. As far as pedals go, the first thing in the chain, and probably the most important, is the tuner pedal, because without that, I would not be playing the right notes, and it would all sound very, very bad. So tuner, and then I go into this 1981 Inventions LVL pedal. 1981 Inventions is a pedal company created by Matt Hoops from the band Reliant K, which I listened to a lot of growing up, and I really look up to them, and I think their tone has always been amazing. So essentially what this is kind of like a somewhere in between a boost and a transparent overdrive. So I leave it always on, really kind of pushing volume into the amp and just doing a little bit of breakup, just to kind of give it just a little bit of overdrive. Just that I leave this always on. So here's what it sounds like, just my clean amp. And then with the LVL engaged. So as you can see, it just gives a nice little bit of overdrive crunch, like. And it cleans up well. Every guitar has a high-end roll-off, so rolls off the high end. But Reverend guitars actually have a low-end roll-off, fully engaged. And then if I reduce it, it really cleans up nicely. Depending on what pickup. The pickup used, but yeah, that's my always on tone. Yeah, I just leave it, and I think it sounds really good. Next we go into a Sick As Overdrive by Bondi Effects. I believe this is the second generation model. I'm not 100% sure, but it's just a very, very nice, more transparent overdrive that I stack on top of the LVL. This is the primary like distortion, overdrive sound that I use for our more punk rocky songs. So with it engaged, it sounds like this. Yep. So as you can see, that just kind of gives it a nice overdrive sound. There's lots of mid-range. It's really thick. Just really thick, real punchy. I'm using that running into the clean channel of my amp is primarily how I get most of my overdrive sound, but there are some parts where maybe I want just a little more chug than this Sick As Overdrive into the clean channel is really giving me. So at that point, I will I can also switch to the high gain channel on my amp, leaving the Sick As on, to get more of a. Gets that really chunky, saturated tone for more heavy, heavier parts, breakdowns, chugs, hardcore. Then I go into a Boss NS2 noise suppressor. Nothing real fancy here. Just kind of helps reduce some of that gain sound from the pedals or from the guitar that comes in. You can't really tell much of a difference, but it just really cleans up nice. And then I have a Boss CH1. It's a chorus pedal. I use this kind of as an effect, depending on the song. To me, I call it like the title fight sound. It's just that kind of shoegazy, you know. And then after that, I have a Source Audio Collider, which is a reverb and delay pedal. So this, I'm not going to go into it too much. It's literally just, you know, add a little bit of reverb for the... You know, just adds a little bit of atmosphere. I kind of have some different effects for when I need it. But here's where the part that I think is kind of fun. In our live set, we do a lot of transitions where there's just like ringing out droney feedback. And then I kind of cut before we go into the next song. And the way that I achieve that is I have a Electro-Harmonic Super Ego. One of my favorite albums of all time is Peripheral Vision by the band Turnover. And their guitarist Austin Getz uses the Super Ego to essentially achieve a lot of those like swells that you hear before the songs. You know what I use it for? You can strum and hold it, and that essentially is a freeze pedal. So it's essentially just holding your note there. But what I like to use it for, I put a volume pedal in the effects loop of the Super Ego. So essentially what I'm able to do is actually control the effect with the volume pedal, so I can bring it in and out. So what I like to do, like for example, the song we usually start our set with is it's like our intro track. It's called Wither. So generally what I do is I strum and, you know, get that nice ambient effect there, and I can what we do is end up making a lot of distortion. It's kind of hard to explain, but we basically, you know, ring out with all this distortion and stuff, and before we go into our first song. And then what I can do is just take the volume pedal and cut that instantly. And then if I want to for another song, I can just bring it right back in. And then double tap gets rid of the effect. So yeah, I kind of went into that for a little bit, but I think that's just a really fun thing. I never would have really thought to do that until just one day. I'm like, man, I really want to be able to just turn this on and off without completely remaking, you know, that swell sound. And then the only other thing is I have a Line 6 Echo Park delay and a Electro-Harmonix Holy Grail in the effects loop of the Super Ego. Right before the volume pedal, so that just kind of gives it a little more atmosphere in the swelling. And that's pretty much it for the pedals. And let's take a look over to the amp that I'm using right now. All right, and then for my amp, I'm using an amp I'm very excited about. I just got this last year. This is a Mills Custom Hatchet 50. They are a local amp manufacturer here in St. Louis. Justin Mills is the owner, and he makes all the amps handmade by himself. They're so awesome. I found out about these amps because I was just going to shows in the St. Louis area, and I saw some other bands using these, and I'm like, these are so sick looking. And not only is it awesome looking, it sounds freaking amazing as well. So what's so cool about them too is on their website, you can literally customize almost everything about it. You can customize the wood, the cloth, the you know, the wattage, the output ohms. So yeah, I could not be happier with this amp. Yeah, this amp's awesome. I was playing an orange amp, and I still really like that. It's a different tone, but for what I'm doing in this band, this is the perfect amplifier for me. All right, and that's my setup. I hope you enjoyed me talking about my nerdy gear for a little bit, and hope to see you guys out at a show.